you could imagine a substantive critique of the Biden administration that like I might, we might disagree with, economic experts might disagree with, some might agree, some might disagree, but it would be legitimate, right? That would say, hey, they overstimulated the economy, right? That the economy got so hot, they had to jack up interest rates really fast. So like that caused these banks that made certain bets on low interest rates to go under, and maybe these bank CEOs made stupid decisions. But like, if it was the Biden inflation economy that like really caused this, and now they're bailing them out, and screw these guys. Okay, like that. I think that there could be, you could disagree with that explanation, but that would at least be a legitimate critique, right? Nobody, like two nerds on the House Finance Committee are making that argument, right? Like nobody is saying that. Like you watch Fox all day, and it's like these guys are woke. Like the problem is that they had Lesbian Awareness Day. Sorry, Sarah, that's the reason why this went under was Lesbian Awareness Day. They did Pride.
Is that a day?
Yeah,
your people have a lot to answer for.
Maybe it was a week. I don't know. There's a Lesbian Awareness Week.
A week.
I don't know. There's something. They had some kind of lesbian acknowledgement thing at this bank, and that was the reason. And so some of it's ridiculous that you can laugh at.
Just play a softball game.
But really, the thing that bugs me is that it's so ridiculous that you want to laugh at it. But like, there's an underlying like overt racism that like is real that they don't want to acknowledge is real. Like Ron DeSantis, who is conceivably the nominee, goes out there and says that this bank was distracted by their diversity initiatives, and that's why this happened. Like what? Was Enron distracted by their commitment to diversity and inclusion? Like was fucking Bear Stearns? Like this is so stupid. And the Wall Street Journal guy is like, oh, I'm gonna take this racist dog whistle and just gonna go straight for it. He writes in the Journal. He's like, their board was 45% women, 1 black, 1 LGBTQ plus, and 2 veterans. And I'm not saying that 12 white guys wouldn't have had this problem, but maybe they were a little too distracted. It's like, you're blaming this on the 1 black and the 1 queer? Like, it's still a majority white board. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like really? And this is in the Wall Street Journal, like, editorial bit. It's just like, this is like 1960s level shit. Like this is, I know it's funny, but it also is overt racism, and it's and for some reason it's like, oh, if you say that, then no, you're a woke liberal and blah blah blah. But like no, like these guys have now turned their anti-woke like nonsense into like making overt racist arguments as their go-to anytime something bad happens. Like they could have legitimate arguments for why the libs fucked something up, and it's a Silicon Valley bank, for Christ's sakes, and it's a Democratic president. But instead of that, they all immediately go to, no, it's the 1 black that's the problem. Fuck you.
So the truth is, the Silicon Valley bank thing is not all that difficult to understand. It is much.
I didn't need to call Josh
understand.
Barrow. You're saying I should have had JVL just do it.
I could have,
okay.
but the point is, think back to the 2008 financial collapse. Like that was actually quite difficult to understand. It involved tranches, it involved exotic financial instruments, and the way in which subprime mortgages were then repackaged and resold as loans. Like that's reasonably hard to understand, I think. I mean, I would assume that anybody who's capable of living as an adult in the world in America could probably get there if they spent an hour researching it, but I don't want to burden people too much.
I had to watch The Big Short like 3 times.
Just watch The Big Short a couple times.
The Silicon Valley Bank is a very simple explanation about like how banks work in terms of they take in things and then they give out things. And when they take in things, it is at an interest rate which is fixed, and when they give out things, it's an interest rate that's variable, and they can get caught at a trap if interest rates suddenly move. Right? It's not hard. If the people, the great and good American people, are so flippin' stupid that they look at this and say, yeah, I guess it was woke. The Wall Street Journal editorial page told me it was woke, so that's what happened. Bum, bum, bum. If that's what happens with the voters, then like, what's the point of any of this, Sarah? And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, JVL, real people have real world problems. They have kitchen table issues. They got to. They don't have time to sit and learn about interest rates.
The point is, we can make them seem stupid and racist for making that argument, right? Like that's why I can't. You just can't you make that argument to
Not
the voters?
Seem. Not seem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, absolutely. This is, I mean, I think part of what's happened over the last few weeks that we've seen coming out of elite media, maybe Fox News, whatever, the contempt with which the elected officials and the sort of news media holds these voters is unbelievable, right? And like, if you think that you're like,
bring it back out, it's time for it again.
All I got to do is say I love one black, one black. You say that.
How did that get through the editors? It's just like anytime you find yourself writing one black, maybe take a step away from the Google Doc and come back and come up with a different way to phrase it.
Yeah, it's wild stuff. And so, but this is how stupid they think they are. They can't. I mean, because honestly, like there's like, even if you forget even who you blame, like we should be having a conversation about these financial institutions and saying, probably shouldn't do this. This is a problem. And somebody made this observation. I think it's a really good one, that Republicans have been feeding their voters this woke stuff now for so long that they've like lost the muscular ability, or the intellectual ability to make substantive policy points. It's like now it's such a crutch. It's such a place where they go every single time that it's like, well, this is just the thing I'll say for everything. And I no longer need to have, it's like the woke military. Are you going to have a foreign policy? Are you going to have a policy on economics? Are you going to
But it's working for them, Sarah, isn't it? I mean, the crutch is a crutch because it works. It actually helps you walk. And this is helping Republicans.
I mean, they lost the 2022 election despite all fundamentals in their favor because now far too many people go for this. Far too many. I mean, and obviously they still did kind of win the House, but they dramatically underperformed with historical factors in mind, in part because they are a ridiculous party that no longer has any affirmative policy beliefs.
Hope you enjoyed that clip of The Next Level. You can watch the full episode if you click the link down below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and leave a comment. Tell us what you think too. Bye.